Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib. I'm Charlie Hannema, joined as always by the head coach of the Broken Arrow Tigers, David Alexander. Coach, 7-0 after a big win on the road at Edmond Santa Fe last week.
A big win, right? Two 6-0 football teams. Edmond Santa Fe riding pretty high. They had a lot of really good football players out on the football field. And I really think Coach Kyle White over there does a great job. And the game kind of played out kind of like I thought it would after seeing them on film. They made a few adjustments, but it finished off pretty nice. 3
straight Thursday night games coming up now.
Yeah.
This week's fall break, so I know kids are now out of school for the week. So what do you do practice-wise tomorrow and Wednesday, and then with no school and day before game? How do you manage all that?
Yeah, it's a disruption a little bit in the routine. Almost everybody on fall break has to deal with it. Wednesday, we'll try to stick with what our normal, or close to what our normal routine is. We'll have meetings starting at 1, which usually start at 1:30. We'll have our normal practice. It'll be a little bit longer than a normal day before game practice because we're going to try to mesh a Wednesday practice with a Thursday practice. And then Thursday, since it's game day and we don't have any school, we're going to get the kids up, and the Boost Club will feed them breakfast in the morning at 9 o'clock. And then we'll let them go, have some free time, and then get them back up there just like they were school and start meetings at 1:30.
When you have 3 straight Thursdays as opposed to Thursday, Friday, Friday, do you alter the routine for the coming weeks, or how do you use those Fridays?
Yeah, well, this Friday, since it's fall break, we're going to treat it like a typical Saturday after a game. There's no school, so we'll get them up there. Since it's a West Side game, we'll get them up there at 11 o'clock, feed them, watch some film, and get them out of there by 1. The last 2 Thursday night games, we'll have Friday school. So they'll go to school, and then we'll use Friday. We'll feel like we'll gain a day. We'll use that as our Monday practice. We won't be able to practice and hit anybody. It'll be a day after a game, but we'll use that field time to get part of our game plan in.
What stood out to you in this Edmond Santa Fe game? Just big picture.
Big picture, well, again, defense played so well. I mean, absolutely phenomenal against a really good football team. I'd really like to get that shutout, but, we wanted to sub out and not get any more of our guys nicked up. But, the first unit shut out Edmond Santa Fe, a really good football team. Number 6 is a really good tailback, a quarterback that's getting recruited. The number 22, the receiver, the tall guy, I think we almost completely shut him out from getting any catches. So defense was everywhere. Plus a defensive touchdown, boy, will almost always guarantee you a big emotional lift and a win.
What was your view on that play? Tricky makes that pick and then gets so close and coughs up the ball.
Yeah, well, it happened right in front of me. Great job by him. He's in man coverage, undercutting the route, cutting off the receiver's route, beating the receiver to the football. I think as fast as Tricky is, if he just runs as fast as he can to the sidelines, I don't think the quarterback has any chance of getting him. But he keeps trying to set the quarterback up, and as he's doing that, they're really good football player, number 1, caught him from behind and hit him. But just like we've talked about, right, all our whole defense is flying down there, try to be there. Right, Machota falls on the football.
Great recovery by Bryce Machota for the touchdown. Stokes, of course, did most of the work. If you've joined us on AeroVision throughout the year, you've probably seen the ambush videos at the game before. I know the kids in the community get real fired up about those. So the shirt I've got on is our ambush shirt. It's available at Tiger Threads inside the high school lobby there. It's open during school. You don't have to be a student. Open to the community 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday, and then 9 to 4 on home game day Friday, so they can set up that pop-up shop. It's awesome. It's comfortable. This long sleeve version is $18. You can get 1 or you can get 10. And then we talked on the broadcast last week, Coach, about your trucker hat that you had on.
That's right. Yeah.
It's kind of an old school vibe. This is cool, but you can get those at Tiger Threads too. And this is like stealing. Those are only $15. So if you're looking for some BA gear, we've got you covered. But
that's the one. That's not the one, but that's the style I'm wearing on Friday nights in the games and Thursday nights. Yeah.
It's cool. It's comfortable.
Very comfortable. It's a great hat. Loving it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change it. Right? We're 7-0.
You can't now.
No, I can't change it.
That's Coach Alexander. We're just getting started on Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib. When we come back, we will look in depth at the 35-7 win over Edmond Santa Fe. Later in the show, Myles Slusher will join us, and we'll look ahead to Thursday's matchup with the Yukon Millers. Stay with us. This is Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy. You get $150 just for switching. And every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
The Tigers of 1929 tied for the Oil Valley Conference lead with rival Bixby Spartans. Broken Arrow's only loss coming at the hands of the Spartans, who finished their schedule with 2 ties and no losses. Apparently, Bixby wanted no more of our Tigers that year, as they refused a challenge from Broken Arrow after the season to play off the tie. This great moment in Tiger history is brought to you by First National Bank of Broken Arrow, a loyal fan of our community for over 100 years. First National Bank of Broken Arrow, the right balance.
Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib, is brought to you in part by St. John Broken Arrow and Tulsa Bone and Joint, official healthcare partners of the Broken Arrow Tigers. And by TTCU Federal Credit Union, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, the Arrow Group, and Matthews Ford. Welcome back. Charlie Hannema and Coach Alexander with you on this Tuesday night as Broken Arrow 7-0, 4-0 in the district, still the consensus #1 team after a 35-7 win at Edmond Santa Fe. You guys just started early. Just fed Noah kind of on that opening drive, and he was able to pound it in like he always has.
Yeah, just like we talked about, right, Charlie, no one has seen our offense, right? You can't simulate it in practice. And so if we'll come out of the tunnel playing hard and fast and physical, it's been a shock to everybody's system we've played so far. And I hope that trend continues. Now, I know when we get to playoffs, we play some of those teams for a second time. There might be a little difference there, but our team is so focused and so ready to come out of every tunnel, so every game so far, that's 7 of them, that it's a surprise to everybody. We start handing the ball to Noah, and he's big, and we're blocking everybody. It's tough.
It's just a 5-play, 40-yard drive. We talked about, field position last year was such a struggle for you guys, and this year it's been not just corrected, it's been flipped. I mean, I think the average starting position this game was your own 46, and so when you have that many drives starting at midfield or close, makes the game a lot easier.
Makes the game a lot easier. Yeah, you get 2 first downs, and you're in scoring position where you can kick a field goal. Plus, when you're the 50-yard line, everybody's feeling pretty good about themselves, and so. It's made play calling easier for Jay. You can give a lot of credit to a lot of people, right? Coach Higgins doing the special teams, to Coach Hill and the defense, and of course everybody's involved in that. Getting the offense started the ball at the 46-yard line.
7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Kind of took a little while to shake some things out, but then Aaron Tricky Stokes makes the interception we were talking about, runs it back to the house almost. Then Bryce Machado officially the 0-yard fumble recovery for the touchdown, but it counts. Put you up 14-0, and then closer to halftime, Quintevin Cherry. We've seen it before, just pounding it in for a 6-yard touchdown.
He's right now. You could basically say he's our backup tailback, right? When Noah gets a little bit tired, we'd put Q in there. We let him throw the ball a little bit. He ran the ball. Obviously, when you're trying to tackle Noah, and he's 210 pounds, and kind of softens everybody up a little bit. And then you bring in Quintevin, who's actually 4 inches taller and 5 or 10 pounds heavier than Noah. That's a lethal punch.
59 carries so far for Q, 425 yards, 6 touchdowns. That is backup tailback numbers.
That is backup tailback numbers, and he's doing a fantastic job. And boy, it puts we have opposing defensive coordinators. They have to put 2 defensive game plans in for us, because we've got the normal offense with Tate and 2 backs and some spread, and then you bring Q in, you bring a few more receivers, and he's going to run the football. It's really tough.
21-0 at the half, and then you look at the third quarter, and it's back to Q, and he threw that strike to Isaiah Keller, a 27-yard touchdown pass, and that thing was moving.
It was a fastball. Yeah. Archie Bradley would have been proud of that one. He reared back and threw a 25-yard frozen rope, and Isaiah Keller has gotten more and more confidence as every week's gone by, and really had to protect himself from the football, even though he was 25 yards down the field. It was awesome.
I know how much Q loves that. We've had him on before, and he talks about, everybody knows I can run, but he can throw it, and he loves showing that cannon off,
he's got a big arm. He can throw it just about as far as he wants to throw it. I'm not sure I've ever been around a high school football player with as big an arm as he's got.
28-0 after that, and then fourth quarter, Zach Marcaselli gets it on the offense. He takes it in from 4 yards out. And It was interesting seeing him back there.
Well, Kewan Tolbert has been our guy to give Noah a little bit of a break when we needed to. Kewan battled migraines on Wednesday and Thursday. So, we kind of limited his play. We let him play some on defense. And so we thought, well, we've got Zach. We've got these young kids that play tailback. And Zach, he's been practicing tailback almost all season. So let's get him in there. And he had a couple really nice runs in the midfield, and then, getting the touchdown, he really wanted that bad. And that last yard and a half, he was not going to get denied.
We've seen his speed on defense.
Sure.
And, he could fly. That's not just a guy that we put in there to take up some space. He's a talent back there.
He's very talented. We're very lucky to have him. He's so important in Coach Hill's game plan on defense. Coach Hill doesn't want to give him up in practice for us, but, offensively, Coach Wilkinson steals him for about 20 minutes a day, and he's in a new dynamic, and I know Kewan does a great job, and it's not as stressful on defense playing corner as it is the role that Zach has defensively. But if Zach, he's in such good shape, that wrestling background. I think if we needed to feed him the ball a little bit, I think defenses wouldn't want to tackle him very long either.
Yeah, Zach on defense this year, second leading tackler, 49.5 tackles, 8 tackles for loss. He's got a sack, he's got an interception. 2 other passes defensed. He's been all over the place.
Yeah, and we put a lot on his plate. We put him to the field. We ask him to be in coverage, blitz, support the run. He's the guy on the defense who's really got the most to do. And so, that's why Coach Hill just doesn't get upset. He understands what Zach can do for us offensively, but hates to give him up some practice time every day.
Santa Fe got a short touchdown run, 2 minutes left to make it 35-7. That was the final.
Right.
But still, a really solid defensive performance for you guys again. And, Kanan Hansen, the Santa Fe quarterback, got hurt right before halftime. But even when he was playing, he's very talented, and your defense really held him in check.
Yeah, the only plays they had, they put their best player, he's a defensive end, they put him out receiver, and he caught a few balls. Something we had seen them do once or twice on film in the previous 3 or 4 games, but that was really the only guy that they could get open, right? Putting a tight end on our linebackers, but after we made a little bit of adjustment, we started trying to hold him up at the line with our defensive ends. Hansen didn't have any place to go with the football, and then we started getting to him, getting some sacks, and then unfortunately he got hurt. I talked to their coach, Coach White. I think Hansen's going to be okay. I don't think he's hurt badly.
And then the one play I have to ask you about before we go is that kickoff return with Gavin Potter just flying down the field and just laying the wood to that poor fella from Santa Fe. What a play.
What a great hit. That was the second, we had scored, right? And that was our first kickoff of the night, and just set the tempo for the defense. It kind of put a shock in their system. They went 3 and out in that first drive because of, I give Gavin all the credit for that. Big, huge hit. The coach's tape on that, our end zone coach's tape, is fantastic. And I know the ambush video this week has got a pretty decent ground level shot of it. It's a big time play.
Yeah, if you didn't see the play live, the return man Cameron Love kind of bobbled the ball. He spun around, tries to pick it up, and right as he takes 2 steps forward, here's Gavin Potter flying at him.
Yeah, running a 4.6 40, full speed, doesn't slow down one bit.
Then it was a clean hit. It was textbook, and he shoulder just leveled him.
Yeah, it was. You don't see very many hits like that in high school.
You talk about creating your own energy when you go on the road, knowing that you're maybe not going to have the fans that you would at home.
Right.
Plays like that will do it.
Plays like that do it, man, because it gets the whole sideline juiced up, right? Everybody's jumping on Gavin and patting him on the head, and that's what you have to have. You have to have special teams plays and defensive plays to get that juice. Everybody's used to Noah doing what Noah does, so the juice on the sideline comes. Those big extra hits, those big plays on defense, things that are really kind of unexpected.
Noah Cortez, by the way, second place now all time in school rushing. He moved into second last Friday. I'm trying to get my days straight. Last Friday at Santa Fe. Real chance to break the record held by Jamal Shaw. We'll take a timeout here on Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib. Player segment with Myles Slusher coming up after this.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap, already providing over 10,000 scholarships. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
My kids had just recovered from being sick, and I found myself sick. And it was time for me to get the care that I needed, and I didn't want to get the kids out of the house, so I used St. John On Demand.
St. John Clinic On Demand is our innovative 24/7 virtual care clinic. It's accessible from your phone, from a tablet, or from your computer anytime.
I registered for the appointment on my phone and visited with a provider and had a prescription called in for me all within an hour.
So the type of patient that would use this service is someone that has a minor illness. Angela's case is a perfect use of our services. We came to her in her time of need versus her having to come for us.
St. John On Demand is such a great alternative to loading the kids up, getting them to the doctor's office, waiting in the waiting room. So now I'm healthy, my kids are healthy, and I will definitely use St. John On Demand again.
Welcome back to Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib. Time now for our players segment, and this week we're joined by junior safety for the Broken Arrow Tigers, Myles Slusher. Myles, this defense has been playing so well week in after week out. What motivates you guys?
Just buy all in. Just keep going every day and just get a win. So.
You transitioned from corner to safety this offseason. Just kind of tell me about that transition and what that's like, because learning a new position is not the easiest thing to do.
It wasn't. It was rough at first, but I'm starting to get used to it, and everything's starting to fall in place. I'm all in. So.
Coach, he's still playing great. I mean, you look at the stats and if you hadn't watched this team last year, you wouldn't know that Myles is in a new position just by watching him out there.
Oh, Myles is playing fantastic, right? You talk about buying all in and doing all those things that Myles is talking about. It's the culture that Coach Hill has created on the defensive side, right? These guys are competing with each other in a positive way to be the first one of the football, make the big play. And when you got 11 guys out there flying around trying to be the first one to make a play, it creates what you see on paper on our defense, and what we're putting on film. Myles moved to safety because that was what was best for the Broken Arrow Tigers. We've got two corners out there that are playing really well, but they're both 6 or 8 inches shorter than Myles is, and we needed Myles' length and his size and his ball skills back there playing in the middle of the field.
Did you grow a little bit between sophomore and junior year too?
Yes, sir. I grew like 2 inches, 3 inches.
There you go.
Did.
And, Slush still the 4th leading tackler, 33.5 tackles. And I know that's just that mentality this defense has of everybody flying to the football.
Yes, sir. We're all in, we're all brothers, so we just go in every week in, week out, just do our thing.
Yes, Coach, sometimes you look at defenses where a safety or a corner has a lot of tackles and you think, man, they must be moving up the field and having to make those touchdown savers. But that's not the case with your defense. All 11 guys are all over the place right at the point of attack.
Yeah, I bet you most of Myles' tackles are within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. And that's from working hard in practice, being disciplined, reading your keys. You get a run key, you run, you get downhill, make the tackle. And that's why we put him back there. He's big and he's physical. He can go play corner anytime we ask him to go do that. But right now we're playing so well and he's playing so well at safety. I like that we've given up 73 points this season, and Myles is a big part of that.
What keeps you guys going 7-0 right now? And I know, this season it gets long at times. You have all those big games at first, and then you have some Thursday night games and some West Side Road games where there's not a ton of energy. But I know, you guys are still playing so sharp. So what keeps that going?
We look at everybody the same, different team. Like no matter who it is, everybody gets the same mentality every week. So we just all in, committed. So that's just all it is.
What makes this defense so tight too? Because I look at you guys and it seems like every week somebody else is having a big game and there doesn't seem to be that I got to get my numbers. It's more of just let's be a unit. So how does that? Tell us how that happens.
Just the bond we have. With practice, we goof around with each other, but we're also serious at the same time and handle our business.
You have to. Practice can get monotonous. We already talked about that, but you got to have fun. right? You got to have fun. You got to have a smile on your face. If your personality is to joke around, kid around, we can't take that away from a player, right? That's who you've got to be. Now we all, there's times to focus up when it's a learning period, but guys like Myles, right? Gavin Potter, D'Amico, those are guys that love to have a great time out at practice. Tricky. They like to joke around, they like to kid around, and that's their personality. Then you got those serious guys. You've got the Marcusellis and the Kaiser Newells, right, that are almost always serious. But so your personality has to shine at practice. If we squelch that, then practice gets really boring and no one has any fun.
Talking with Myles Slusher, a junior safety for the Tigers, I want to ask you, what's your take on Noah Cortez? Seeing him in practice when you guys go one-on-one, what's he like as a runner?
He's a hard physical runner. He's definitely about his business when he gets the ball. So,
where have you seen him develop from last year to this year?
His speed is definitely developed, and he's like way bigger. I think he's bigger than last year, and I wouldn't want to tackle him.
Who's easier to bring down, Noah or Quintevin Cherry?
I have to say Quintevin, just because we're always going at it in practice.
You like that? You like to see that smile on his face? He doesn't want to give an answer because he knows he's going to hear about it.
I love the line in there about Noah. He's about his business, right?
Yeah.
He is about his business. I would say Quintevin's a little easier to tackle. He's got those longer legs. Now if you let Quintevin get his shoulders turned down on you, he's tough. But Noah's thighs are that big around. You can't tackle Noah anywhere except maybe his shoestrings.
Myles, tell me a little bit about recruiting. I know you've got some offers from a whole bunch of places. Just what's that like when these big name schools start calling you and texting you, and you're talking with coaches that everybody else watches on Saturdays?
I try not to get too caught up into it. I enjoy it as it is. I talk to them when I have the time, but I really just try to focus on school right now and do what I'm doing in football.
Have you thought about what you might want to study in college?
Business, entrepreneur.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How'd you get towards that?
I was always hanging out with Patrick Fields, and then we was always talking about it, and then he just got me into it. So.
Very cool.
That's a good mentor to have. He's good. He's a good young man.
Coach, what else do we need to know about Myles?
Well, Myles. Myles is he has a great time, right? Always. I've never seen Myles without a smile on his face, right? Doesn't matter what's going on. You've seen the last ambush video, right? And he's coming off the field. I don't even know, what was that run you were doing coming off the field?
Tricky had just got a pick, and it was just celebrating.
on Tricky's pick, celebrating and running off the field, right? And so, Myles, the things you don't see, right, is his work ethic in the weight room, his practice habits. But all that stuff is what you have to do to get the results you're getting on Friday nights, right? And those are things, God's blessed Myles with a lot of physical gifts on his own, but you have to sharpen those to be able to perform on Friday and hopefully be able to perform on Saturday, which he will in a couple of years.
Myles, thanks for the time tonight, brother. Good luck with Yukon Thursday. Myles Slusher's getting $25 of rib crib for appearing on our Players segment. We'll take a timeout here on Inside Tiger Football. Coach Alexander and I will be back to look at the Yukon Millers after this.
The 1982 Pride of Broken Arrow Marching Band had a spectacular and rewarding year. Led by senior drum major Paul Gerder and junior drum major Mindy Denton, the Pride and its members practiced relentlessly with the utmost determination and won the sweepstakes of the Midwest Championship in the Colorado Marching Band competition, which was truly a great honor and led many to declare the Pride the grandest band in the land. This great moment in Tiger history is brought to you by First National Bank of Broken Arrow, a loyal fan of our community for over 100 years. First National Bank of Broken Arrow, the right balance.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
Final segment here on Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib. It's going to be a short one as Coach A and I look to the Yukon Millers. Thursday night kickoff, Miller Stadium at 7 o'clock. We'll be with you on the Animal at 6:30 for the pregame. Also have the live stream on AeroVision about 10 to 7. Coach, Yukon 4-3, right. Started 4-0, and they've kind of hit the skids in district play.
Well, Coach Reed has done a good job, right, turning that program around. They had been perennial offers until he got there. You'll see the option, triple option coming from Jeremy Reed and the Yukon Millers offense. Something we don't see, and it's got Coach Hill and our defense kind of nervous.
We'll see how it plays out. Right. Last year in that game, Broken Arrow won 56-20. 2 straight trips down to Yukon, but we'll take it. Great stadium down there. Right. 571 yards of offense in that game. A lot of passing touchdowns last year. Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson and Kaiser had long catches.
That's right. Matt Kaiser, Keyshawn Johnson had great games last week, and we need to get Matt Kaiser. He needs to have another big game this week.
All right, we'll leave it there. Coach Alexander, thanks for the time as always.
Of course, Charlie.
We'll talk to you Thursday night when Broken Arrow travels to Yukon, trying to go to 8-0 on the season. For Sean Hill, Greg Spencer, Terry Sprider, and our AeroVision crew of 9,487 folks, this is Charlie Hannema saying good night from Broken Arrow.